Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing today? October 26, 2022. Chris Wood here. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to my channel. I gotta first start off by saying congratulations once again to Ontario Provincial Police, Lennox and Addington, Ontario, Napanee, Ontario, Canada. To Lennox and Addington O.P.P, Spencer Mills, serial killer Spencer Mills, 14716. To pedophile killer ex-chief. To sex offender, staff sergeant, kidnappers, staff sergeants. To Shannon Cork, to Robert Kane, to Robert Lucas, to a mental health worker named Stacy and Shelley Hefner. Time's been bought. The damages after 3 years, I believe, is finally done. I have nothing left of myself. I do not even feel my own consciousness. I have not had any brain stimulation in my head in almost probably 3 weeks from being injured. I feel nothing. I can put earphones in and blare music and I feel absolutely no stimulation. I get hypoxia every day, brain hypoxia, which cuts off my oxygen. And this is all being done to me for O.P.P revenge. I've been kidnapped, sex assaulted, medically blacklisted, skull split, brain injured, deformed, body mutilated. I have had my lungs screwed. My kidneys are completely damaged on me from being injured. Doctors involved that co-commit and cover up crimes for Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, while negligently and criminally co-committing, is Dr. Tatiana V. She goes by the name Margie V. as well, who happens to be Stacy's girlfriend, a mental health worker, was Napanee, and now she lives in Kingston, Ontario. There is Joy Hadley, there is a Dr. Barton, a Dr. Pritchard, a Dr. McGregor, a Dr. Waldron. Here in Napanee, there's triage nurses Terry, David, and Tanya. Paladin Security is involved. They're human sex trade slavery traffickers, children to pedophiles, adults to sex offenders. You're involved with financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds, stealing welfare, stealing pensions, taking out insurance policies on victims and murdering them, committing sex assaults, kidnapping 24 hours after asking for help, surrounding hands-on guns to prevent anything and having video to show it and prove it. This is what the O.P.P police are about here in Napanee. And as I'm doing this right now, my whole right side feels completely gone. I have air going through my body. I feel nothing. I probably lost maybe 3 to 4 inches off of my skull from being injured over the course of 3 years. Even as I'm doing this right now, this whole right side of my head up in here, it's swelled. And I'm feeling less and less of myself, my own true consciousness, and this is all being done through what is called remote neuromonitoring on me, which is police and military tech. It is a nano microchip implant It's been in use since the 60s, and a lot of people are not aware of this, but it is designed to destroy a person's nervous system on them. It is also used for illegal invasive surveillance through these people so they can see their victims pissing, shitting, showering, sleeping, and everything else 24/7. I'm, I'm just doing this on my computer on my laptop webcam, so excuse if the quality is not all of that good. But I'm gonna show the back of my head. Just show how flat this has gotten from being deformed. I don't know if that was seen or not, but that spot on the back of my head, I've had that there for 3 years, and I got that after I was shot by ex-O.P.P chief. Back in 2019, at my previous address, he went by in a white Jeep Wrangler. He waved at me. I waved back. When I waved back, a black truck pulled up beside him. And this was on the corner of Center and Bridge Street here in Napanee at the time. Roughly about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, too. I distinctly remember that. But he waved at me. That black truck, they pulled up, they pointed something and shot it at me. And it went into my right ear. I do not know what it was, but that's when the problem started with me. That's when my medical problems started. That's when the lies, the cover ups, the medical treatment refusals, and everything else against me started. And it happened, for me speaking of police crimes, the human homeless trafficking that was taking place out of the Morning Star mission, and the homeless exploitation for monetary gain. I hear sirens right now, so O.P.P is most likely delivering their drugs to these pieces of shit. They are owned by Blair Hardy. They are owned by Tyler Lake. They are owned by Billy Wooldridge, who is alleged Hells Angels Ontario chapter leader and Bandito leader Blair Hardy. They are the drug traffickers here in Napanee. Families are murdered and missing. It is Ontario provincial police. And human trafficking, I want to say, can and does happen in all communities. It is not just a girl and female crime. There is many ways to human traffic victims. It is not just a genderless crime or an ageless crime. It happens to men, boys, females, girls. And like I said, there is many different ways to human traffic victims besides just the one perceived way of you know anyway, I hope everybody is having a better day than what I am. And I also just want to say, while I have the opportunity, that thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for everybody that tunes in and watches these, because it is very serious. It is very important. And I've had lies against me stating that I have a long criminal record and history. I do not have a criminal history. I was never in jail. I was never in front of a judge in my life until I was falsely charged by Ontario Provincial Police and the doctors here to deflect the crimes against me. And that was also done in the attempt to criminalize me, to deflect everything. and that way that enabled them to get the rest of what they needed against me, my pictures, my signatures, my prints for the forgeries, framings, and frauds against me. I say that without paranoia. I will not be proven wrong. Right, Spencer Mills 14716. This is why you kidnapped me May 27th, 2021, 24 hours after asking for help against you, the day that you forced my blood in my piss. And then when you found out what you had done 24 hours after me asking for help against you, and also found out that my blood tests that you forced on me were negative for drugs and anything else that you were illegally looking for, 100% negative, because I don't do drugs. I am against this shit. I've lost too many friends and family from drugs, and I myself have overdosed from them, and I'm glad I did. I was thankful it happened because that was my wake up call. So I do not do drugs. I don't even drink alcohol. Very, very rarely on occasion, and I do not buy it. If it's offered to me, I will drink it, but I do not buy it. There's been lies against me stating that I am suicidal and a self harmer. That is certainly not true in any way, shape, or form. If I was suicidal, I wouldn't be so hard. I wouldn't be trying so hard to save my damn life. That would make absolutely no sense. And if I was truly suicidal, I would not tell anybody. I would just go ahead and do it. So, that's, and I don't even speak of doing anything like that. 100% bullshit. I do not self harm. I love myself enough to not do this. Like I said, I've been trying to get help with what has taken place with me. My legal rights have been taken, my human rights, my medical rights. Oh, it's sad that I have to go through this and have my brain being burned out of my head and being injured and being constantly numbed down. Like I said, when they're using the remote neural monitoring on me, doing this to me, I have their feces and urine going through my body as well. I have something that feels like a tube that comes up from my lung. I am. I will be all the evidence that I have and need. And as far as my identity theft or changes and everything else goes, I have been posting it and showing lots of proof of it happening. But anyway, hello there. I have more than proven my identity theft. I've more than proven my identity changes. I have lots of videos. Also on my Facebook, I have a Facebook page. It's Christwood, ChristWood. And on there, you can also go check out my Facebook where you will see lots and lots of pictures of my identity theft changes and a lot of other stuff as well. The evidence that I can prove. Oh, I also have a TikTok account as well with evidence on there. On my introductory, um, on my channel, on my introductory on my channel, I show pictures to prove also of my identity theft and changes as well, to show that it really is happening and taking place. In a lot of my videos and my pictures, I also show the tattoo on my hand as well because of this happening to me. I have pictures that you can obviously tell because of the tattoo that it is me, but completely, totally different face. And that's from the remote neural monitoring being done to me and from being broadcasted through from this tech that's being in me, that is in me and being used on me. 100% proof of it. I'm just sitting here hanging out with my little puppy dog. He also gets this used as well. They use it to abuse animals as well. There was a woman a couple years ago. She was on drugs. I tried to get her off of drugs. And as a result, it backfired because she ended up going out and came back high on meth or something, and she freaked out, was hallucinating, started saying that she was seeing spirits coming out of my dog. Okay. And then she proceeded to flip out. She took meth or whatever it was, some kind of drug. She threw it in my dog's eyes. It caused burning of my dog's eyes. She took a knife, chased me out of my own house, and then come to find out that the person was actually, or is actually, a cop's sister, a drug cop's sister here in town. I've had arson attempts on my previous address. I've had blood thrown on my previous address as warning signs. I cannot leave my house without being illegally stalked and tracked because I have illegal prisoner tracking on me. The ones responsible, Billy Wooldridge, a guy named Billy Wooldridge and another guy named Blair Hardy, they were also stalking my mother. The one guy was calling, Billy Wooldridge was even calling my mother mom, and the guy he's 71, 72 years old, and he was calling my mother mom, who was 77 at the time. But anyway, they were using remote neural monitoring on her, stalking her as well. And from the radiation and the EMFs, it caused tumors in my mother. It caused cancers in her, and it killed her. It caused her death back in 2020. And it was done with criminal negligence and intent. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. Blair Hardy, Billy Wooldridge, and all you other scumbags, you're doing it. Congratulations. You're lucky that I cannot get help. You're lucky that I cannot go to a hospital. You're lucky that I cannot do anything about what has taken place with me. This is how you assure your crimes here in Napanee, and you have a justice of the peace even to make accusations on your victims. I'm getting seriously burning in the back of my head right now to the point where it feels like the skin is actually lifting up off of my head. If I could actually go to the hospital and they would do an MRI or a CAT scan or something like that, it would definitely prove 100% of the internal damages done to me. This is my dog. His name is Runt. R-U-N-T. And poor little puppy's been through a lot. He has been through a lot of abuse and everything else. Undeserving. These people are also guilty of a couple years ago. There was a guy here in town, and one of the people that is involved in doing this to me is actually guilty of murdering two dogs, a litter of puppies. They were taken, they were chopped up with an axe and cut up with a knife or something, and they were thrown and left in front of my friend's doorstep for him to come home and see his animals like that. This is the kind of sick shit that happens here. in Napanee, Ontario. All the drugs that are going around this town are from the drug cops, Spencer Mills and a guy named Robert Kane. They are the ones that are causing and lacing the drugs to cause deaths in addicts. I'm sorry, right now, just the whole right side of my head, just all right in here, it's just, I have no feeling, but it feels weird. Really, seriously, totally weird. And like I said, I no longer am feeling really my own true consciousness. It's only just Blair Hardy and Billy Wooldridge from doing it. I'm going to sign off of here and I'm going to take my dog out. And if possible, I have been trying to hold off, but if possible, I may have to go to a hospital. And if anything happens to me, or if it don't happen to me, it will just prove that they are covering up like they've been doing for the past 3 years against me. Thank you for tuning in. I gotta get off of here. I'm having some serious stuff happen to me, and I need help. I seriously need help in a bad way, or I'm pretty much dead. I am the end of my bloodline.